For years, the narrative has been that Donald Trump knew Jeffrey Epstein, but Melania was just the innocent girlfriend caught in the frame. But new filings claim that Melania was very involved in a social circle that preyed on young women. They allege that her introduction to Donald Trump wasn't chance. It was an arrangement. And most explosive of all, the claim that her first intimate encounter with the future president didn't happen in a club, but on the customized Boeing 727 known to the world as the Lolita Express. In this video, we are ignoring the $40 million propaganda film. Instead, we are opening the court files. We are examining the Alex pretty backdrop that has the nation on edge. And we are going to expose the specific terrifying details of the lawsuit that claims Melania Trump isn't trying to protect her reputation. She's trying to bury her past. To understand why this legal battle is so vicious, we first have to understand the PR disaster unfolding right now. It is January 2026. The Trump administration is facing the most intense civil unrest of the second term following the shooting of ICU nurse Alex Pretty by immigration officers in Minneapolis. The country is burning, and in the middle of this fire, Amazon MGM Studios decided to release a $40 million puff piece. The documentary, directed by Brett Ratner, a man who himself fled Hollywood years ago amidst sexual misconduct allegations, was supposed to be Melania's coronation, but the authentic data shows a different picture. According to The Hollywood Reporter, tracking for the film is catastrophic. Box office projections are in the low single digits. Why? Because the timing is grotesque. Just last night, Melania hosted a VIP screening at the White House. The guest list Mike Tyson, Tim Cook, and Brett Ratner, while National Guard was deploying to Minneapolis. The First Lady was eating popcorn out of custom black and white boxes. But the real problem isn't the tone deafness. It's the counter-programming. Because at the exact same moment Melania is trying to sell us a story of grace and patriotism, Michael Wolff is selling a story of complicity and crimes. And unlike the movie, Wolff's story is under oath. Let's dive into the authentic legal data. This isn't gossip. These are court filings. In October 2025, Melania Trump's legal team sent a threat letter to journalist Michael Wolff. They demanded a retraction of his claims and threatened a $1 billion defamation suit. Usually authors back down. Well, did the opposite. He sued her. He filed a declaratory judgment action under New York's anti-SLAPP laws, essentially daring Melania to prove him wrong in court. And this week, in a January filing, Wolff's team dropped the hammer. They detailed exactly what Melania wants to suppress. The core allegation is simple but devastating. The Epstein connection. We all know the official story. Melania met Donald at the Kit Kat Club in 1998 during a Fashion Week party. She was introduced by Paolo Zampli, a modeling agent. Wolff's filing argues this is a cover story. Wolff alleges that while Zampli was the face, Jeffrey Epstein was the engine. The filing claims Melania was part of what Wolff calls Epstein's culture of models of indeterminate age. These weren't just fashion models. They were the social lubricant for Epstein's high power gatherings. Wolff claims that Epstein knew Melania well long before she was Mrs. Trump. He alleges that Melania was a frequent guest at the dinners where Epstein would scout for his friends. But here's the line that has the White House terrified. In the filing, Wolff recounts a taped interview with Jeffrey Epstein from years ago, tapes that he claims to possess. In these tapes, Epstein reportedly brags, "I was the one who introduced him. The first time he slept with her was on my plane." The implications of this are nuclear. If Melania Trump's relationship with the president began on a plane notorious for sex trafficking, if her introduction was facilitated by a sex offender who later died in prison, it recontextualizes her entire existence in the Trump orbit. She stops being the graceful First Lady and starts looking like something else entirely, a survivor, an asset, or a participant. Melania's defense is aggressive. Her lawyer, Alejandro Brito, calls these claims false, defamatory, disparaging, and misleading. They point to the fact that Melania's name does not appear on the flight logs in the same way the victims' names do. But Wolff's filing counters with chilling argument. You don't log the inventory. This brings us back to the Einstein visa. For years, questions have swirled about how Melania Canals, a catalog model with a modest portfolio, secured an EB-1 visa reserved for people of extraordinary ability. The same visa granted to Nobel Prize winners. Wolf's filing suggests we look at the sponsor who had the power to pull strings at that level in the nines. Who was known for helping models fix their immigration status in exchange for access? Jeffrey Epstein. The "she was there" claim isn't just about the plane. It's about the parties. We have the photo from Mar-a-Lago 2000. Look at it again. Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump, Melania Canals. They look comfortable. They look like a quartet. Wolf argues that you cannot be very involved in that specific social circle in the year 2000 without seeing something. The massages, the young girls, the recruiters. Wolf's lawyers are demanding to depose Melania. They want to ask her under oath. Did you ever see a minor at Jeffrey Epstein's home? Did you ever receive cash from Jeffrey Epstein? Did Jeffrey Epstein help you get your visa? This is why Melania is fighting so hard. In a defamation suit, truth is an absolute defense. If Wolf can prove his claims are substantially true, or even that he had good reason to believe them, he wins. And to prove it, he gets discovery. He gets to demand emails. He gets to demand diaries. He gets to demand the real story. Melania Trump isn't suing to get money. She is suing to stop the discovery. But by suing, she has triggered it. It is the ultimate legal backfire. You might be asking, why isn't this on the nightly news? That is where the 2026 reality kicks in. President Trump has revoked the press credentials of major networks. He has launched his board of peace with Putin and Orban, creating a new global media ecosystem that filters out negative stories. The Melania documentary is part of that shield. It is art as alibi. By flooding the zone with a $40 million movie, they hope to drown out the PDF files circulating on the docket of the New York Supreme Court. But Wolf is a rogue element. He has released the tapes. In a filing just yesterday, Wolf submitted a transcript where Epps discusses Trump's preferences. Epps allegedly says, Donald likes him young, but he likes them loyal. Melania was the perfect pivot. She didn't ask questions. She didn't ask questions. That phrase is haunting. It implies that silence was the currency of her marriage. And now that silence is being price tagged at $1 billion now. Melania has made a career out of being a cipher, a blank slate. But the "she was there" filing fills in the blanks with the darkest ink imaginable. It suggests that her coldness isn't a personality trait. It's a survival mechanism. If she admits she was there, she admits she saw the crimes. If she saw the crimes and did nothing, she isn't just a first lady. She is a witness who stayed silent for 25 years. We cannot separate this from the Alex Praise shooting. The country is furious. The cognitive dissonance is breaking people's brains. On one screen, you have the First Lady in a ball gown in her movie. On the other, you have a nurse dead in the snow. And in the background, you have court papers accusing the First Lady of being created by a pedophile ring. It is a let-them-eat cake moment. But instead of cake, it's a cinema ticket. And instead of revolution, it's a raid showcase. Even the director, Brett Ratner, is part of the irony. A man accused of sexual misconduct directing a movie about a woman accused of enabling sexual misconduct funded by a company, Amazon, trying to secure government cloud contracts. It is the Ouroboros of corruption, the snake eating its own tail. The Melania movie will be in theaters this Friday. Donald Trump says it is selling out fast. The data says the theaters are empty, but the courtroom will be full. Melania Trump tried to escape her past by rewriting it on the big screen. But in the United States of America, even in 2026, a deposition is more powerful than a documentary. If Michael Wolff's tapes are authenticated, if the Lolita Express allegation is proven, then the Melania we see on the screen is a ghost. The real Melania is the one in the court files, the one who was there, and for the first time in her life, she might have to answer the question, what did you see? The Melania documentary premieres January 30th. We will be reviewing it, not for the quality of the film, but to count the lies compared to the court filings. If you want to see the real evidence, we have linked the unsealed Wolf files in the description below. We are also tracking the Alex Pretty protest live on our secondary channel. Do not let the movie distract you from the docket. What do you think? Is Michael Wolff a liar looking for a payday? Or is Melania Trump the final key to the Epstein mystery? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe for the truth.